Okay, so we want to know the story of how you guys met.
The first time I met your mother was when she was in her apartment. The year before, I lived with an apartment in a room with my roommate George Keller, and his sister and brother-in-law and niece were up there too. And down in the basement of that building, that house, were three girls. And we told the three girls at the end, when the next school year starts, after a while that people know where people live, we'll go out on a date. And so her name was
Janet Bailey.
Janet Bailey. And so I was sitting in the living room there with Janet Bailey after we'd gone someplace, and the door opened from the hallway, banged open, and a girl rushed out. Oh, boys are chasing me! And rushed, I guess, to the bedroom and came out. Oh, the boys are chasing me! And I said, who's that?
Because I was Janet Bailey's roommate.
Yeah, and it was Grammie that was making all that
But
fuss.
that isn't how it really happened.
And then,
He makes that part up.
I didn't make it up, it actually happened. And then, when I came to decide to ask that girl out for a date, I called up on the phone, and Janet Bailey answered the phone.
3 times.
So I visited with her a bit, and then I hung up, and then I waited a bit, and I rang it again, and Janet Bailey answered the phone again. And then I talked to her a bit and hung up, and then I called again, and Janet Bailey answered the phone again. And she said, you want to talk to my roommate, don't you? And I said, uh-huh. And so then Grammie answered the phone, and I asked her for a date, and she said, sure.
But why did you want to ask her out on the date?
Well, because I thought she was kind of interesting, come racing in the room like that. My gosh.
He changes the story up.
And did you know who he was?
No, I knew he was sitting on the couch. I had been out with somebody. I came in, opened the door and came in, and Janet introduced me to him. He had on a sweater, he was sitting on the couch, and I said hello, and I thought he just looked nice and comfortable. And so when he called and asked me out, then I knew who it was.
So what was the first date?
We went to my sacrament meeting in
That's
my ward.
not true.
It is
We
true.
went on a double date with George and Shireen, and we went to a dance.
I don't remember that.
I know. We didn't ever go to a sacrament meeting in your ward.
Mom, we did too.
There was some other girl that you married then. 'Cause it
So
wasn't me.
Dad, what did you like about Mom? What made you fall in love with her?
The way she combed her hair and fixed her hair.
Did she have really long hair?
Long hair, yes.
And Mom?
Well, I just always felt comfortable. Actually, after I met him sitting next to Janet Bailey, and before he asked me out, I had been in a badminton contest, and he had been coming home back from playing soccer. We met in the hall at the gymnasium, and we talked for a little bit then. And then after that, he called and asked me out. And so I went one time and watched him play soccer. And we went on our first date with George and Shireen to a dance. And he was late picking me up because
The dog got lost.
he had cut himself shaving. He says he tried to get a good close shave, and he went and pulled his lip open. So when he came with a bandage. When he came
Dad!
came late. Do you remember this part? So, and when that date was over, he wrapped that bandage around my finger.
Her ring finger.
I don't know which finger it was.
A bloody Band-Aid?
It wasn't blood. By then he'd had up 3 or 4 bandages. But he would call and say, I'm going to be late. And I was wearing high heels, and I was so uncomfortable waiting. I had on my black dress, which was tight and cute and adorable.
Was it, Dad?
I can't remember.
Just say yes.
Yeah, you could
Well,
always.
it must have been.
Yes. And so we just were always really comfortable together. Even when we met in the hallway at the field house, the old field house at BYU. We could talk, and our date, we had fun, we danced. And then Then we used to go walking a lot. We met in October. I'm sorry about my eyes. And we used to go for walks a lot and crunch in the leaves. And I don't even remember what our second date was.
I can't remember either.
Did he make you laugh?
Yes, it was just comfortable. You know, you didn't feel like you had to be any different than who you really were, or it was just comfortable.
Okay, we're going to pause it here.